I'd like to welcome everybody and thank you for being here today for this very momentous occasion. 8 years ago, Howard Ungerman, our past B'nai Reena board chair, launched a process to secure 165 Elmridge as a supportive housing location for Reena. Harold Seidel, the present chair, carried that vision a few years later by buying 155 Elmridge, with the aspiration of one day creating an intentional community building modeled on our past successes. Less than 3 years ago, we shared that vision with the City of Toronto's Open Door initiative, receiving enthusiastic and unanimous support from City Council, with a particularly enthusiastic voice of local councillor Deputy Mayor Michael Cole. Thank you, Councillor.
Way to go, Mike.
In less than 3 years, we have designed a beautiful building, received zoning approval, and engaged the community in the vision of inclusion. Reena itself has a great risk invested in the pre-construction efforts with over $2 million. Our foundation leaned in, and thanks to Marnie Silver and Sheila Lampert, have raised over $15 million from philanthropic leaders like the Frankfort family.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
And now, with CMHC rapid housing funding, we have the opportunity to commit to 99 years of affordable housing in the heart of one of the most amazing neighborhoods and in the great city of Toronto.
Yeah.
Thanks to the CMHC team, who are very aware of our track record and the compelling need for this rapid housing grant. Together, we are able to break ground today. The need to build supportive community housing is tremendous, with an over 40-year wait list. We need to do more, and we are here to help others learn from us and create new innovative opportunities. Today, we are able to imagine the impact on 168 vulnerable citizens who will have a home sooner rather than later, moving people out of alternative long-term care spaces in hospitals, shelters, other long-term care, or other precarious housing. It will enable vulnerable members of our community to have affordable housing, supports, and most importantly, a community to belong to, reducing the crisis of isolation.
There's a tradition in Judaism to recognize a moment, a significant moment. And so I'm going to say a blessing. It's a simple blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Thank you, O Lord, for sustaining us, enabling us, and allowing us to get to this moment. Today, while we are here celebrating the start of a building, our focus really shouldn't be on the bricks and mortars, but on the future tenants, people who are our children, siblings, neighbors, neurodiverse individuals with developmental disabilities, autism, brain injury, Down syndrome, adults with physical disabilities and mental health challenges, seniors with cognitive decline, all have a place in community and certainly will have a place here. The Frankfort Family Reena residents will continue the tradition of being immersed in this community and openly supporting neighborhoods' needs. This housing model enhances quality of life while saving Ontarians millions of dollars.
Moving into Reena felt like my first breath of fresh air in a long time. I had a place where I could begin to learn how to live independently outside the doors of a medical setting. Of course it wasn't easy, but as time went on I began to form a fixed sense of self, of who I really am apart from the misconceptions of hundreds of medical professionals over the years, and just that one improvement opened up a window of opportunities. I built a foundation of what learning to live with what I've been dealing with was possible, and I slowly began to learn how to look after myself again. I've rekindled a more meaningful connection with my family in the years I've been apart. My social life went from completely stagnant and lonely to going to music festivals with several different friend groups and meeting hundreds of people, and at times being the leader of my social circle. But most importantly, it allowed me to see more and more reasons every day about why giving up would have been a really stupid decision. Instability in housing will lead to stress, which will either exacerbate the symptoms of the developmental disorder or cause a relapse in symptoms associated with a wide variety of mental health conditions. This will inevitably lead to functional decline, substance abuse in some cases, crime, increased healthcare demands, and suicide.
I think a few personal thank yous are in order. First, obviously, to my colleagues in the federal government and CMHC for the incredible work here locally, to Reena, to Brian, to Wendy, to Sheila, where's Gary Glad? How can we not thank Gary? Everybody loves Gary. Gary, the whole team, and in particular to Judy Frankfort, who I just had the honor of meeting. Your family and your connection to this community is a big part of the reason why we're able to make this announcement today. And I agree with what Brian said, and I'm going to come to Jamie, your remarks in a moment, but beyond just the bricks and the mortar, that connection to the land and the community is why your family came here, why you came to Canada. My aunt and my uncle moved into this community in one of those buildings right behind us back in the late 70s. And, talk about coming full circle. We cannot say thank you loudly enough and frequently enough for your generosity, because it is that spirit that is allowing us to now build another generation of housing for people who will hopefully come to this community and enrich it the way that you and your family and your children and your grandchildren have. For 50 years now, Reena, grounded in the Jewish values that you spoke of at the beginning, Brian, but the universal human right that we all should show to one another in building for each other projects like the one today is why, Jamie, you've got a second chance, and hopefully so many others who will come will be able to enjoy that chance too. The announcement today is part of a much broader rapid housing initiative, and we are rolling that out right across the country. And in fact, there was an announcement in the city of Toronto just earlier a week, similar to this one, in a different part of the city, which shows, I think, the concrete, tangible proof of that collaboration between the Government of Canada and the City of Toronto. And the fact is that we cannot do this work fast enough. We need to be able to build quickly, efficiently, so that we can support affordability, accessibility, and supportability, like you spoke about, Brian, so that other people like Jamie can get into that front door, so that seniors can retire with dignity. And that is a big part of what is going to be, I think, materialized and realized here at 165 Elmridge. So that is why today I am very proud to announce $44 million in funding from the federal government's Rapid Housing Initiative that will see us welcome approximately 160 new neighbors right here in Eglinton Lawrence. Thank you.
I can't say enough about how significant this is for all the people that are going to benefit here and all the families that are going to benefit by having good housing. That's really the bottom line. And I think Jamie really hit the nail on the head talking about how real this is. So, I'm here on behalf of the mayor, who's going to come but couldn't make it. But she certainly is a huge supporter of this project, as the former mayor John Tory was, and she really is super excited about what's been accomplished here. And in many times, as city council, I've referred to this as proof that we can build housing. We can build affordable housing, and this is living proof. And we did it in record time. So it's a real team effort to get this done. And I just want to say that the housing that is underway now can't be done by Toronto alone. It can't be done by the private sector alone. We need a partnership of the provincial, federal, city government and the private sector, and citizens that step forward like the Frankfort family. And I always use this as an example. If you've got that kind of partnership, we can replicate this right across the city. $44 million. That's a big amount of money. It's one of the biggest investments that the federal government has made so far in its rapid housing initiative. This is something we've got to share and celebrate and let people know, because sometimes people are very cynical and they say, well, you guys aren't doing this. There's no housing being built. Well, and this is, we're in the ground here in record time.
Yeah.
Record time. And just on behalf of the mayor, who's again super enthusiastic about this and more to come, and all of you that care about people who deserve decent, safe housing. 27,000 still waiting for supportive housing, because you just can't build bricks and mortars.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us as we begin this next phase of the journey. And we look forward to the day we open the doors less than 2 years from now and start to have people move in. That's what this is about. I want to extend our gratitude to the families who are patiently waiting and the individuals who we support. We have over 300 people who have expressed interest. We have the Ministry of Community Social Services wait list of 4,000 people in this city. We have demand from hospitals with people in alternative levels of care and people who are in hospital that don't need to be or in long-term care. For all of you, thank you for your patience. We need to build more, we need to build faster, and we need to do it together. And thank you all, you making it happen.